All right, for this question, we're going to go ahead and recommend that you memorize your first 10 primes if you don't already have them memorized. ACT loves to ask questions about primes. You don't necessarily need to have them memorized to answer this question, but since they're talking about primes, great time to add this to your cheat sheet, master it, and go back 5. So with this one, we're just going to logic through each of them, and we're told we have 4 consecutive positive integers, and we had to find out which of these 3 things are true for any set of 4 consecutive positive integers, which means we're just trying to falsify it. We're trying to think of anything we can that will eliminate it. And a lot of times, these are going to be much easier than you're going to think, because most students are just going to skip them. They're going to be like, that's impossible for me to think about. But the reality is they're actually trying to make it easy for those that will just take the time and think through it. So we're going to think through it together and do them one at a time. So at least one of the 4 integers is prime. So all we're trying to do is think of any scenario where we would have 4 consecutive positive integers where they aren't prime. And there are a lot of these, but you could just do 24, 25, 26, and 27 is an example of numbers pretty low where you're going to have 4 in a row. So if you have those first 10 memorized, you would know that your higher up one is going to be more likely where you're going to find those first 4, and it is indeed there. So, but you could, pick any of the lower numbers. I mean, the higher you go, the more numbers you're going to have between primes, and it's certainly a lot of options. So that one is gone. Definitely not one. So that's going to allow us, we can eliminate answer F, we can eliminate answer H, and we can eliminate K based on that, because all of those have answer 1, which we know is not going to be one of our options. All right, so now we're just left with between G and J. So let's take a look at 2, which you already know that 2 actually has to be an answer because we've eliminated all of the ones, and 2 is in both the answers. So we're really just trying to figure out if 3 is going to be an answer. I'll do 2 just so you can see. At least 2 of the 4 integers have a common prime factor. And since we're going 4 digits, the thing to know about having 4 integers, every 2 digits are going to be divisible by 2. So anytime you have more than 2 numbers in a row, every 2 numbers are going to have 2 as a factor. And then for every 3 numbers, 3 is going to be a factor. So when we're dealing with 4 numbers, that if there's at least 3 separation, it's going to be divisible, both 3 and 2. So we know that is going to be true of any pair of 4 consecutive numbers. So definitely 2 is accurate. But now we're looking at 3. At least one of the 4 integers is a factor of at least one of the other 3. And all you got to do is pick a big number here. If you picked 100, 101, 102, 103, none of those others are going to be a factor of any of the other ones. The bigger you go, the more obvious that's going to be. And so 3 is gone. And so we know that our answer is G.